I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you already have a good idea of what Super Mario Bros. Is. I don't think I have to explain it. It's one of the most revolutionary video games in history and is even the most valuable video game ever sold. Being so iconic, the anniversary of a game like this should be celebrated properly, and it was. Super Mario Bros. Turned 35 in 2020, and to celebrate, Nintendo gave us multiple things for the special occasion for a limited time. These items included Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Game & Watch Mario, collectible coins, collectible pins, something I'm probably missing, and, what this video is about, Super Mario Bros. 35. Aside from 3D All-Stars, out of all of these items, I enjoyed Super Mario Bros. 35 the most, and honestly, I believe it's an amazing take on Super Mario Bros. And just an amazing game in general. So, even though its servers have shut down, I feel like it's only right to talk about why Super Mario Bros. 35 was fun while it lasted. For those of you unaware, Super Mario 35 was a limited-time online game for the Switch that puts you in the original Super Mario Bros., except this time, instead of playing the levels by yourself or with a friend by your side playing one at a time, you're going up against 34 other players, battling it out to win first place through various methods and mechanics. These methods and mechanics are new to the game that turn it into a battle royale type of game, and every time you defeat an enemy, you get a certain time added to your timer based on how you defeated them, and the enemy is sent to someone of your choosing. People with the least amount of time remaining, people with the most coins, people that are attacking you, and random. Out of all of these options, more times than not, you were better off staying on most coins because people with the lowest time most likely were KO'd by the timer, not you, and you would only get their coins if you KO'd them. And coins in this game were very important because you could trade 20 of them for a random item, be it a mushroom, a star, or a POW block. You could get any of them with just 20 coins. Sure, you can get a duplicate power-up, you know, having a fire flower and then getting a fire flower, but it is what it is. So at least with most coins, you had a good chance of getting them with what you sent them, and with attackers, at least you could send back what was sent to you. In 35-player battle, you'd start off on 1-1 and make your way through levels randomly decided by the game's AI based on what levels all 35 players picked. Sometimes you'd go to 1-1 and 1-2 and then, boom, you're at the final level. It was completely up to the game's AI on what level you had to play next. Now with Special Battle, you could start on any level with a certain power-up, amount of coins, amount of time, etc. I really enjoyed both of these game modes because they complement each other so perfectly. Every time you loaded up a 35-player battle, you knew what you were getting into, and with Special Battle, you had no idea what you were getting into. But really, aside from that, you only had course practice, options, and stats, as well as being able to change your icon and even completing daily challenges, but that was it. The only collectible were the icons, and you'd get the icons based on what level you are, and being level 69...
69...
Yeah, get it all out of your system, Jen.
Was that a robot pun?
I didn't mean for it to be, but now it is. Anyways, for a free-to-play game with no paid DLC, this game was incredible. You got essentially a perfect modern adaptation for what it is, and you're probably wondering what I mean by perfect adaptation, and despite how much I love this game, that's just the thing. Super Mario 35 was a perfect adaptation. Right now, you're probably thinking,
Bronze, there's no such thing as a perfect game.
Thank you, Jen, and you would be correct. There is no such thing as a perfect game. There's way too many factors to even determine what makes a video game perfect. Even my favorite video game ever, Undertale, is not a perfect game. I mean, I can't think of anything wrong with it off the top of my head except for Mediton Neo, but even then, I don't think he's a problem. He's more of a... never mind, that's for another time. So, yeah. There's no such thing as a perfect game. A perfect adaptation, on the other hand, is more than achievable. You're probably wondering what I define as a perfect adaptation, and you're right to wonder that since a lot of people define different things like that are perfect in many different ways. So here's a baseline for now of what I define as a perfect adaptation. Keeping a good source material, making the adaptation better, if possible, adding something the original didn't have, giving a unique experience from its source, and having the adaptation age just as well as the original. For now, these are the baselines of what I describe as a perfect adaptation. It'll probably change in the future, but for now, this is it. But before I continue, let me clear a few things up. First, remakes and reboots are not included because they're not adaptations. There's a fine line between the three, but it's still a line. For example, Punch-Out for the Wii is not an adaptation, it's a reboot, and 2019's Resident Evil 2 is not an adaptation, it's a remake. And I can tell you that I've played Skyrim Special Edition enough to know that it is not a remaster, it's an adaptation. I don't care what anyone says, that is not a remastered game. You can't really remaster a game 5 years after it came out, Bethesda. A $60 touch-up a remaster does not make. Why did you label this as a remaster?
It's okay, Bronze. It's okay.
I'm sorry, it just really pisses me off that Bethesda calls it a remaster when it's not, and... Oh, are we on? Sorry about that, people. It's just, you know, Bethesda. I hope you all can understand. Anyways, I also want to clarify that when I say adaptation, I don't imply different types of media as adaptations, like movies being an adaptation of a video game. I'm not including these for many reasons. Different media is meant to be enjoyed differently, so I'll leave those out for this video and just stick with video game adaptations for now. So now that you know what I mean by perfect adaptation, if you go through all of these, Mario 35 fits these baselines. It kept a good source material, it's just as good as its original game, not better though. It'd be really hard to make an adaptation better than Super Mario Bros. Not even the new Super Mario Bros. Games can compare to it. Mario 35 added the Battle Royale mechanic, adding something I did not expect to be so good in the original Super Mario Bros., and because of this addition, Mario 35 feels like a completely different experience than the original, and a great experience at that, and it's aged just as well. Actually, no, I can't say that. Quick recap, Nintendo decided that Mario's 35th anniversary was going to be celebrated for a limited time, and then on March 31st, 2021, all of that would be discontinued for no reason. I could go on about this, but I'm pretty sure that this has been criticized enough by the internet, so I'll just move on. Before any of the merchandise in Mario 35 were released, Nintendo said that they would be available for a limited time, and this was a little confusing at first, and honestly it still is, because until this point, Nintendo didn't do something like this for Mario's anniversary, or really, any anniversary at that. Making something available for a limited time and then just getting rid of it for no reason. So you all knew damn well that when I figured out Mario 35 was being taken down eventually, I was gonna play it to my heart's content because I knew this game wouldn't be available forever, and that is actually the only reason why I don't see Super Mario 35 as a perfect modern adaptation. Simply because you can't play it anymore, and because of that, it won't age just as well, because you can't play it, it's that simple. But if you were lucky enough to have played this, man oh man, was it a blast to play. If you missed out on Super Mario 35 and wanted to play it, I am sorry to hear that, because this game was so much fun to play. I probably got into this game the most when it came out next to Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and I remember those two games being the only thing I did with my spare time for at least 2 weeks after I got them. I'd play Mario 35 when I was trying to 100% Sunshine for my Sunshine video, and some crap would happen to me in the game and get me irritated, so I'd play 35 to focus on something else, and the irritation made my focus even better, so it even led to many victories in Mario 35. I remember going over to a friend's house, and all of my friends that were there were so interested in this game, all 5 of us ended up playing it the entire night, and for a good portion of the day after, too. I remember one time, I was in the top 3 and I missed a platform by a pixel, so I had to watch myself plummet to my death. And this was on 1-3, the level with all the trees. So whenever I watched Mario miss it by a pixel, he plummeted straight down to his death for a complete second. I had to watch him die, knowing I could do nothing about it. All 5 of us let out a sigh of complete sadness when we all saw Mario stop dead in his tracks and fall straight down to his death. I hated when this would happen in the game, and it happened more times than you'd think, but even when it did, I just started the next game because, to me, it didn't matter if I won as much as it did to have fun, and that's exactly what I did. I had a lot of fun with this game, and speaking of top 3, when I was recording the footage for this video, I could never get higher than 3rd place. I don't know why either. Maybe it's because the game was getting shut down not long afterwards, but I just could not get 2nd or 1st for the life of me. BronzeBrawn getting nothing higher than bronze. Oddly fitting, isn't it? But I do have footage of getting 1st and 2nd, so whatever. Speaking of places too, I don't really have any proof of this except for people who were there and saw it, but believe me when I tell you that I had my fair share of S ranks when I played this game seriously. Completing daily challenges with ease and placing in the top few thousand with every S rank I got. I even had this photo of me being in the top 800, however, the event had started less than an hour beforehand, so I don't think it counts, but take it as you will. I even remember looking up videos from Super Mario Bros. Speedrunners on how to get better at the game, and speaking of the game, aside from the Battle Royale gimmick, there was really nothing different about this game from the original. Except for the level system, of course, where if you leveled up, you'd get icons based on what level you were, and you could even play as Luigi if you reached level 100, but I never reached level 100, so here's footage of me facing a Luigi player to make up for it. There's also one new song in Mario 35, and this song, it's my outro theme for a reason. It's an awesome song that I did not expect to be in a Mario game and is easily my favorite part of Mario 35. It's playing right now. I mean, listen to it. It's fucking awesome. Alright, I know, I've gone on long enough. I've explained just about everything there is to explain in this game. Well, actually, I could explain how you'd unlock levels and such, but that's just a technical thing, and I really don't think it's relevant for this video. So with all that said and done, it's time to give my final thoughts. While most people will look back and see Super Mario 35 as an oddly handled game that celebrated Mario's 35th anniversary, I see it as a great game to experience when it was still up, and I don't regret a minute of playing it. Now, of course, there is always hope. Nintendo could make something similar to Mario 35 and keep it up, and it would honestly make this entire video kind of irrelevant, but I feel like Super Mario 35 was enough of a blast to talk about, and that's why I believe Super Mario 35 was fun while it lasted. I want to thank you guys for watching, and as always, take care, and have a good one. Farewell, Super Mario 35. I'll miss you.